Welcome back to a Currently Basic podcast. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Megan.
So, first, before we get started, I just want to say if any of you guys have extra money or any resources you guys have, areas in southeastern Kentucky have been massively affected by flooding that's happened. People have lost their homes, businesses have been lost due to all the flooding. And so, we're going to list some resources in this week's episode's bio and then other places for you to donate and help out as much as possible. We would greatly appreciate it because people have been really hurt during these really rough times. So this week's episode is of the Norwegian black metal murders.
Norwegian black metal sounds incredible.
Trust me, it's something. I am no way a metal
Enthusiast?
Yes. The most I listen to is Rob Zombie. But okay. First, before we get off the bat, we have two things to do. First, some warnings and disclaimers before we get really started into it. And two, we have to go from point A to point Z, and some of this might not make sense now, but in part two, it's going to make so much more sense. So just kind of bear with us, guys. So first, this is a trigger warning. This episode will have suicide and self-harm talks in it, so be warned of that. Two, all I know about black metal is from what I've researched. I know nothing about metal other than what I've researched. So yeah, me and Megan are in the business of murder and not black metal history.
Sometimes they intertwine, though.
They do intertwine, yeah. If you would like to know some more black metal history, though, Finrez from the band Darkthorn, he's really rad. He's actually kind of known as the black metal historian, and he's really informed on all of it. There's 2 episodes on YouTube called Finrez Black Metal University that explains the history of black metal and its origins. That's really cool. Highly recommend you watch it. I've watched it. It's really rad. And 3, I can barely speak English half the time, so me pronouncing any Norwegian names, it might not go well. So we're sorry. I've done a lot of Google and YouTube of how to say the names. So if I don't say them wrong, I'm sorry.
I believe in you, Hannah.
Thank you, Megan. So number 4 is we're probably going to say fuck a lot. So, if you're not down for that, you might want to leave, my dudes.
Hannah will be saying that a lot.
I definitely will. I mean, I say it a lot anyways. It's fine.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry if I forget or miss any information. There is so much to this case. And there's also so many different stories to it in the sense of this one person said this other person said that. And let's get into it. Most of this story follows one band called Mayhem, who they're still actually around to this day. We'll get more into that in part 2's episode. So let me tell you guys, this whole story is a wild ride. It was made into a movie. We'll talk about that later, about some of the opinions on it and how, yeah. Also, keep in mind, there's a lot of names to this. And so most of the time, we're going to refer to them as their stage names. Because honestly, it's going to be easier that way than to use their normal names. Also, keep in mind, I told you we had a whole page of disclaimers and stuff. These people were 16 through 20s when all of this happened, like our age.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were super young. So this all actually started in 1984 in Oslo, Norway. So it starts with the founding members of Mayhem. So the first one was Jorn Stubberet, who goes by Necro Butcher.
Necro Butcher?
Necro Butcher.
Oh my god, this is so great.
There's so many more great names like that.
I am ready.
Yeah. You can tell just a 17-year-old boy did this. Okay. The next member of the band was Øystein Arstis, who went by Euronymous.
Euronymous, another
Euron-
great name.
it gets better.
I'm gonna write these down as baby name ideas.
I thought about doing him as pet names. And then there was Chettle Mannheim. He does not have a cool stage name because we'll get into it. Okay. At the time they started the band, they were around 16 years old. Mayhem is kind of known as like the founding fathers of black metal, or Norwegian black metal, I should say, because when they started it, it wasn't really around. Mm-hmm. It is a subgenre of death metal, which I know nothing about, so don't ask me. Oops. So Chettle decided to leave the band.
Oh, why?
It was just, he thought it was more of a fun thing. And he's like, he wanted to do other things. I think he's living like a normal life now. Like, so yeah. But he was replaced by Jan Axel Bloomberg, whose name is Hellhammer.
Hellhammer! That's going on the baby name list.
Oh, yeah. Oh, baby Hellhammer. Are you ready to see Aunt Hannah? Hellhammer, it's time for dinner!
Oh my God. Introducing himself on the first day of preschool. I'm all about it. This is going to happen.
Let's do it. It's like how everyone wanted me to name my kid Razor. But they were missing someone. And that was the lead singer. So they sent out mail to their correspondents in other metal circles, whatever. And that is how they found Per Odlin, or dead.
Just dead?
Just dead. Very simple, man.
Simple. I like it. I like it.
It's simple to the point. He had sent them a demo tape in the mail. And with that demo tape, he had sent them a dead mouse tied to a cross.
No, that is not the man you want.
No. So when Dead decided to join Mayhem, before that, he was in a Swedish death metal band called Morbid.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, he decided to move to Norway to join the band. And with that, he moved into a house with all of them together.
Okay, makes sense.
I don't want to see that house because, 4 teenage boys.
Oh, I didn't think that they were teenagers.
They are around like 17 when this happens.
Oh man, okay, so we've got Necro Butcher, Euronymous, Hellhammer, and Dead all living in the same house at like 17, 18.
Yep.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah. But so while all of them were in a house together, Necro Butcher decided to moved out. There's no real reason why. Now let's get into the first travesty of this case, which unfortunately there's many to come. So, death or black metal, a little crazy. Dead, while he was on stage, was known for cutting himself.
Oh no.
Live on stage, he would spray his blood across the audience.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so they were known for getting crowds of 300 down to 50.
Just because they like passed out or left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My mind went my mind went straight to like the murder part. Okay. Oh man, that is too far, my dude. Yeah. Too far.
Okay, I'm sorry. The real big murder of all this is going to be in part 2. I'm sorry. We have to do a build up. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Dead also was known for burying his own stage clothes so they would smell like death. He would bury them in their yard for a few days, and when they would go get ready for a show, he would unbury them.
Weird.
He's a little... I read somewhere... Do you know who Gigi Allen is?
Uh-huh.
He's kind of like a Gigi Allen, just less extreme.
Yeah. I mean, it harmless. The burying your clothes. Weird. A little concerning, but harmless.
Yes. Well, it keeps getting more concerning. I'm so sorry, Megan.
Oh no.
Yeah. He was also super skinny. He liked to look that way, so it would make him look like death.
Mm-hmm.
He's also kind of known for making corpse paint a thing.
Corpse paint?
Yes. So, okay, please pull up the very last picture I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
It's of Dead and Euronymous.
Okay.
And do you see their face paint they're wearing?
Yeah, so they're wearing all white face paint and then like black lipstick, and it's very dark black around the eyes.
Yes. That is corpse paint. So
Okay.
for our audience, it's kind of a mix of like Alice Cooper's face paint and Kiss's face paint. If you kind of like mix them all together and make it look like a corpse, that's what you get.
Yeah, okay.
And they were actually kind of, I don't want to misspeak and say they were the ones that invented it, because they really didn't invent it, but they, I guess, more popularized it, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So, also, Dead was known to carry a bag of a dead animal and sniff it into his lungs, so he would have the smell of death in his lungs when he performed.
That's horrifying.
Yeah. Well, they'd also bring pigs' heads onto stage too.
This is we started at rock bottom and we just kept digging.
Oh, we're going, keep going, baby. They would also bring pigs' heads on stage. One time they actually threw it into the audience, and someone in the audience took a big old bite out of it.
No. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh jeez, that's too far, my friends. Too far.
Well, we get worse. I'm so sorry, Megan.
How does it? Okay. No, keep going. Keep going.
I'm sorry.
These children are concerning me.
Yeah, I know. But they get even more concerning. So Death had an obsession with death.
Obviously.
Yep. Necro Butcher had said in a documentary called Pure Fucking Mayhem, legit, that's the name of it. Dead had an ice skating accident when he was younger, and that caused his spleen to erupt and have eternal bleeding.
Oh man.
And so they took him to the hospital. He died, but then they revived him.
Wow. Talk about a near-death experience.
Yeah. And so that's what they believe kind of started this whole obsession with death. And his accident only happened when he was 10 years old.
Man, that just sounds like a really unhealthy coping mechanism.
Yeah. Well, some people now, because I mean, this is however many years later, that he had Cotard's syndrome.
What's that?
So this is a syndrome that you think you're dead, or you don't exist, or you don't belong. And it's a mental disorder. It's extremely rare. As of January 21st, 2020, there were only 200 cases in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's super rare mental disorder. It makes you think you're dead. And,
okay, I've heard of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't really have anything to prove it, but a lot of people think that was it.
Interesting.
Because he had such an obsession with death.
Yeah. I had heard that Cotards, is that what it was called?
Yeah, it's Cotards.
I'd heard that Cotard syndrome was like, you believe that you're dead, so you don't have to like eat anything, or you don't have to I don't know where I was going with that. I'd heard that it was, like, you don't eat anything, you don't take care of yourself in the way that a living person would, not necessarily having an obsession with death, but just believing that you're dead so you don't have to maintain your life, essentially.
I'm going to get into that in like 2 sentences. So
Sure.
Yeah. Also, besides that, Dead also did not like cats. In the movie Lords of Chaos, it said he had killed cats, but in reality, he had just tried to like attack them and kill them, but he never succeeded in it.
Okay, good.
No one knows why he had a real disdain for cats. But when I was watching My Favorite Murders podcast about it, there is a Twitter account called Black Metal Cats, and it's these very mean-looking cats with black metal quotes, and they're so cute. Hold on, Megan, we have to go. So back to what you were saying earlier. Mm-hmm. Dead was also extremely depressed, and it was getting worse and worse by each day. Though Necro Butcher kind of, he disputes it a little, because he said that Dead had a good sense of humor. He was always had a smile on his face, and that's how Necro Butcher remembers him. Also, that was one of his best friends.
Mm-hmm.
But we know now you can still be smiling and happy and be super depressed.
Absolutely.
But besides being an amazing black metal singer, he was an amazing drawer. His art was a mix of dark humor and death. I saw some of it. It was actually really good. Hold on, Megan. I will send you the pictures of it. It's very dark, but it's good.
Oh, interesting. Very, I mean, both of these, very aesthetic. They have a very specific style, a very dark and like sketchy style, sketchy describing the art and not the not my perception of the art.
But speaking of best friends, people had said Euronymous and Dead were best friends, but Euronymous was extremely mean, even downright cruel to Dead, saying just terrible things to him. Some people actually said the Lords of Chaos movie that is based off of a book that was written about this said that they had actually in the movie toned down how really mean Euronymous was to him. And so in the movie, they're basically like, but basically in like the movie, he was saying like, you should kill yourself if you're that depressed, like all kinds of terrible stuff.
Oh my goodness, one of those people.
We're going to find out later that this is Euronymous' world and we're just living in it. Yeah.
Great.
Trigger warning of the events that happened on April 8th, 1991. So at the age of 22 years old, Dead slit both of his wrists and then his throat with a hunting knife at the home that Euronymous shared.
Oh my goodness.
It gets worse, I'm sorry. He left a suicide note, and what it said was, "Excuse the blood."
Oh my goodness.
After writing the note, he went to his bed and proceeded to shoot himself in the head.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Euronymous was the one that found him.
Oh man. That's
yeah.
That is can I just say that is like genuinely one of my worst fears.
Absolutely. And I'm keeping this in here, but this is more like real talk real quick. I was very scared researching this case, and what I'm about to tell you is the reason why I'm scared of researching this case. So, okay. Well, not this part, but the next part. Euronymous and Dead and them only had one house key, which is real weird, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So Euronymous has gotten home from wherever he was at, and he couldn't get in the house because it was locked. So he had called a few people and asked, like, is Dead with you? Blah, blah, blah. And they were like, no, not there.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets a ladder and climbs in the window. And that is where he found Dead's dead body.
Oh my goodness.
But Euronymous, instead of doing like a normal person would do and call the police or freak out or something, Euronymous went to a local store and bought a disposable camera and took pictures of Dead's dead body.
Okay, I know people can't see me right now, but I am legitimately speechless.
Yeah. No,
it's
terrible. It's fucking terrible. And that is the reason. Well, no, hold on. This is the reason why. I'll tell you in a second. But it's fucking horrible. It really is. He even at one point staged the scene to put the knife over the gun. Yeah.
I am. Oh my gosh. I am so disturbed.
It gets fucking worse, Megan. Like,
how does it get worse?
It gets worse because listen, it is alleged that Euronymous wanted to use the photos of Dead's dead body to promote the band and put them on flyers.
No. Absolutely not.
No.
That didn't happen, right? That did not happen, right?
That didn't happen, but this did.
Oh.
Okay. So after the dumbass Euronymous took pictures of Dead's dead body and got the pictures developed, he showed the rest of Mayhem. Hellhammer. For the movie, Hellhammer seemed pretty cool about it, but I couldn't see what it was. But Necro Butcher was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the reason why he didn't take a step. he didn't quit the band per se, but he took a step back for a while
Yeah.
because one of his best friends just blew his brains out, and the other one's like, "Oh yeah, let's use it to promote."
That is so disturbing.
Oh, I forgot to mention that Euronymous also had dead skull made into necklaces for them.
No,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Um.
How?
Yeah. Also, there was a rumor going around that Euronymous ate some of the brain matter and stuff.
Oh my
It was a
gosh.
rumor, totally lie.
No,
Um.
okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
We all react to intense, unexpected situations differently. Some people can be completely calm and handle things with, maturity and, call 911 and not sound panicked. Some people naturally do panic and freak out and not know what to do. And maybe they don't call 911 right away first because they don't think to in their state of panic or whatever. This is not
This
that.
is none of those.
This is none of that.
None of those. There was one point Necro Butcher said, like, don't talk to me till these, like, pictures are destroyed, which can't blame him.
Yeah.
So, a fragment of dead skull sold in 2018. They're $3,500.
Who, I'm sorry, here's I I am so upset. Okay. So now I'm wondering, like, did he have family?
Yeah.
Because I mean, his next of kin would have had to consent to that. Because like your next of kin has, I don't want to say ownership of your dead body, but they, assuming that you don't have a will, they are the ones who decide what to do with it. And it's my understanding, at least, that it's really illegal to, do something with the body that the next of kin does not approve of or consent to. So the fact that there are pieces
in Norway, though?
I don't. Oh, I forgot this was in Norway.
Yeah, this is in the U.S.
This isn't the U.S. I mean, I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah.
That is still just so wild to me, though, that that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but that, like, legally, it's legal.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is even more disgusting. There was a bootlegged version of one of Mayhem's albums with, like, the original Dead, Hellhammer, Euronymous, Necro Butcher, all of them. It was a live album.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what the fucking cover of that was?
If you tell me it's a picture of Dead's body, I am going to I'm gonna
It was Dead's dead body.
that is so not okay. How the hell is that legal?
I don't fucking know, but listen.
That is so, and that's someone's kid. That is someone's kid. That is someone's friend. How the hell can you, in good conscience, not to mention that's your friend. That was the person who you spent time, who you lived with.
Yeah.
How,
dude, okay, you know those people outside of concerts that sell, like, bootlegs of, like, people's merch?
Yeah, sure.
That happens at Mayhem's concerts, that has his fucking blowed off head on t-shirts.
That's so wrong.
You know it is. And, like, I watched an interview with Necro Butcher, and he's like, I was, like, pissed at first. Like, I would, like, threaten to kill people and stuff, and I can't blame him. Someone did that to my friend, I'd be homicidal too.
Absolutely. I mean, and who is out there? What kind of evil, horrible human being is out there trying to profit off of this tragedy?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't care how sociopathic Dead seemed to be. Yeah. He is still a human being. Yeah. And oh my goodness, I am so mad.
And the thing is with death metal, or not death metal, I'm sorry, black metal, that was their whole thing back in the 80s and 90s. That how evil can you be? Who's going to be the most evilest? No, I'm the most evilest. So that just kind of fed into, there was a rumor at one time that Euronymous killed him himself. And there was another one that said Dead killed himself because black metal got too mainstream and blah, blah, blah.
No, he was a depressed kid who did not get the help that he needed.
Yeah. And I mean, this was the 80s. What help was there for mental health?
I mean, fair. It was very stigmatized. At least it was here in the US. I'm not sure about in Norway, but that is so just wrong in so many ways.
Yeah. After Dead, unfortunately, decided to do that, they needed a new lead singer and also a new bass player. They started looking around and found Christian Varkners, also known as Varg Vikerson.
Okay.
He came into the picture a year after Dead's death. He was to replace the bass player, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I will do a correction if I missed it on part 2. He was an amazing... He had a one-man band called Burzum, which, as far as everyone was concerned, it was amazing as far as black metal goes. I don't know what's good black metal if I heard it. His personal ideals weren't of the best qualities, mostly anti-Semitic, Nazi tendencies.
Oh, love it.
His dad was actually into Nazism.
Great.
He also worked for Saddam Hussein.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah. we love it. Great. We love
it. Varg had lived in the Middle East for a while when he was younger. And then, as a teenager, he got into heavy metal.
You got to cope somehow.
Yeah. Also, his parents were upset when he got into Nazism.
Great. All right. So another clearly mentally stable person coming into this group. Wonderful.
And by short break, I mean, we're going to do a little explaining. All black metal people are not like this, by any means. Unfortunately, though, Norwegian black metal does seem to get some, unfortunately, very extremist people in it. Mm-hmm. This image that was in the 80s and 90s, most of them have dropped it and are just living normal lives, playing metal, being cool, being normal. Not all of them are like this. I just want to make that clear. So, back before Varg got into the picture, Euronymous had decided to open his own record shop and record label. But
right.
We will find out that he was not a good businessman by any means. The record shop was called Helvete, which is Norwegian for hell.
All right. Yeah. Sticking with the theme.
Yep. Gotta keep it together. Gotta keep the image up.
Gotta keep it on brand.
Yeah, on brand. Everything has to be on brand. But the shop was funded by mommy and daddy's money.
Great.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, Euronymous was flat broke when he opened this.
Okay.
It was all mommy and daddy's money. And later you'll find out he would take money from one thing to fund like his lifestyle, which wasn't like a very extreme lifestyle, surprisingly. Mm-hmm. But like he would take money from this to go to that, For a lot of it was rebelling against Christianity. And some of it was for the extremist was like they wanted their Norse mythology back. Because some of these churches had been replaced, or places had been replaced with like Christian stuff and not Norse the fuck up. Anyone who knows us from our college will know what that means.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. I did that too many times. Okay. But in their basement was a hangout space for the Black Circle, or the black metal inner circle, that was invented by Euronymous. So only the coolest, or the metalist of metalists, the non-posers, were allowed in. Mm-hmm. That's a thing. A lot of them were like saying, oh, you're a poser, you're a poser, you're a poser. Mm-hmm. It like, when you watch these videos, it's like they're in high school, and I get it. They're like young 20-teen-year-olds. Mm-hmm. So I get why they were like, oh, you did this, you did that. that will get Euronymous in a lot of trouble. In part
Mhm.
2, we're not done yet. Now, let's get into the church burnings.
Oh no.
Like I said before, Norwegian black metal scene was bitterly opposed to Christianity and organized religion as a whole. At one point, they even said the Church of Satan was too humane.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting idea. All
They
right.
were all they weren't Satanists, but some claimed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like not the Levian Satanism. They were like another kind, which I'm not
Okay.
sure which kind because I don't know my Satanisms.
You know, I can pretty confidently say that I don't know my different branches of Satanism either.
I don't know either. So we're just, yeah. We're two American girls doing a Swedish murder story. Or not Swedish, a Norwegian murder story. Watch the black metal guys come after me. But
Oh no.
if there's a cute one that is non-homophobic, non-Nazi, non-anti-Semitic, if you are cute and none of those things, hey.
Hannah's hitting over here, or Hannah's over here hitting on all the Norwegian metal boys.
Yeah. I've dated a couple American metal boys. What's the difference?
Fair.
So, unfortunately, this kind of came synonymous with the black metal scene. Between the years of 1992 and 1995, there were 28 churches attempted to burn or were burnt.
Oh no.
That they can verify. Yeah. They suspect there were at least 50 in Norway alone. And all of the churches were Christian churches.
You can disagree with something. That's fine. But as soon as we go to arson, that's when I'm like, okay, no, it's a little too far.
So okay, let me say something. I don't agree with burning churches, but the likelihood of harming anyone when you burn a church is very, very low.
I mean, yeah, you're not harming anybody physically, but for a lot of people, churches are a place of, great. For a lot of people, churches are very, sacred and a place where they can go and feel very close to God and feel, close to other people who believe the same thing that they do. So even though you're not harming anybody physically, there's still a lot of emotional harm that can come from that.
Some of these churches even made national news. They were like hundreds of year old churches.
See, that's another thing is you're burning down history when you're burning these things down. You can disagree with something all you want, but there's a line to be drawn.
It was mostly the extremists of the metal community that were doing it.
Right.
The ones that wanted to fit in, to be accepted, not no posers.
Mm-hmm.
They were truly metal enough. Now looking back on it, a lot of them were like, okay, maybe not. We shouldn't have done that. And some of them were like, yeah, like burn a church. Do it. I don't care. Maybe we should have done more.
Oh, great.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, most of them was just proving themselves. A funny thing about all of this, though, none of the church burnings were planned.
Interesting.
None of them were planned. And that just amazes me.
Mm-hmm.
That one just kind of happened and they're like, okay, let's just go burn down churches randomly. After like all the arson and stuff was done, they tracked them all back to at least, there was like 1-2% was just normal arsonist, and then the rest was either death metal bands, members, or fans.
Wow, not the fan base I want.
No, they're very loyal. So, like the good ones, we like you. We're buds. Just no burning down churches, please. It's largely speculated that Varg was kind of the driving force in burning down the churches, but there's not really, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A funny thing though, Varg himself did an interview with a local paper about them, saying he did them, blah blah blah. He told the interviewers he would shoot them if he told them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Well, one thing led to another and he got arrested.
Oh man.
Yeah. But unfortunately, they couldn't keep him there because they didn't have enough evidence, even though he admitted it.
I mean, okay, to be fair, false confessions are a thing.
Yeah.
And this guy does seem like the type to say that he did something just to get attention. Just to feel, just to be cool.
Yeah.
Just to be their definition of cool. So like that makes sense. If you don't have hard evidence and you have this clearly, in my opinion, unstable person in front of you saying that they did this thing, maybe maybe look into it a little bit more. And if there isn't any physical evidence, that sucks, but
yeah. But one unfortunate thing when we talk about church burnings and all that stuff, they forget a firefighter lost his life. So when everyone talks about the Norwegian black metal murders, they only consider like 3, but there's actually 4.
Oh no.
Fighter that lost his life trying to put out these fires.
Oh man.
We're going to find more out about Mr. Vard and Euronymous and another tragic murder that happened on part 2's episode of Norwegian black metal murders.
This whole culture is fascinating and terrifying all at once.
And their fans still scare me, and not in a I'm worried for my physical safety, just like they are very like, if you get one thing wrong, you're going to hear from it. Yeah. They're very like sacred about their bands.
Yeah. Wow.
And unfortunately, this is a case that like more people should know about. And like I understand why the black metal community isn't the biggest fan of it, because it doesn't make them look good by any means.
No.
You have to remember, this is the extremist you're dealing with, not dead. God rest his soul, or wherever he would like to be. Most of them are extremist. Not most of the death metal community. Most of the people in this story, with the exceptions of a few, are extremist.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully I did not offend anyone by saying that. Thank you all for listening to A Criminally Basic Podcast. If you want to find more, find us at A Criminally Basic Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And for more information as well as photos, be sure to visit our website, www.acriminallybasicpodcast.podbean.com. Bye. Bye.